Welcome to Vega IoT Software, an advanced intelligent solution designed to help industries monitor, manage, and maximize their operations with precision. All right, let's understand the dashboard.
This is the main dashboard where you can monitor all your connected devices in real time. Let's understand the tiles you see on your screen. First is the total tile. This shows the total number of devices assigned to your account. Next, the online tile displays how many devices are currently connected to the network and sending live data. The good tile indicates the devices that are working properly and are within their set temperature or humidity range. Then comes the pre-alarm tile. These are devices that have reached the warning threshold and may soon go out of range. The alarm tile highlights the devices that are currently out of the acceptable range and require immediate attention. Finally, the offline tile shows the count of devices that are disconnected or not communicating with the system.
Next is the hierarchy feature, which is one of our most popular features. This feature makes it easy to understand and organize your system hierarchy. Basically, if you have multiple locations, multiple hubs, and multiple areas, this feature helps you create and manage a well-structured hierarchy. Let me explain this step by step in descending order so you can understand it easily. The third section is areas. Here you can create areas and add devices, meaning you can assign the devices that are installed in that specific area. You can see the table columns. Area shows the area name. Associated devices shows which devices are assigned to that area, and action allows you to make changes, delete, or view details as needed. Let's create one area so you can understand better. Click on the plus area button. Enter the area name in the input field. For example, let's create VEGA cool room. Then select the device assigned to that area, such as OLM_AA4543. After that, click on add area. Now you can see in the table that one area has been created. If you want to edit it, you can click on the action button and update it if required. Next is hubs. Similarly, you can see the table columns, hub and associated areas. The areas we created earlier will be added to this hub, showing which areas belong to which hub. Let's create one hub so you can understand better. Click on the plus hub button, enter the hub name, and assign the area to the hub. Here you can see in the table the areas which we created previously are now being added here. Next is locations. Similarly, here you'll see the location column and associated hubs for that location. Let's create one location for better understanding. Enter the location name. Suppose you have multiple locations where your imports and products are stored in different places. For example, Manizar, Chennai, Hyderabad, etc. So enter the location name and add the associated hub to that location. Now your hierarchy is created with that location perfectly. Next, let's look at the report module, one of the most important parts of the dashboard. Here you'll see two main tabs at the top, report, schedule, report. Let's first explore the report tab. As you can see, this section includes a filter option. The filter makes it super easy to find your reports, especially when you have a long list of them. You can filter reports by file name, type like PDF or CSV, chart type, formation, generated date, and more. This saves you from scrolling endlessly to locate the right report. Below the filter, you'll find the report table. This table lists all the reports you've generated. Each time you generate a report, one copy is downloaded to your PC and another copy is saved within the software. That way, if you ever lose the file on your computer, you can simply come back here and download it again by clicking the PDF icon. No need to regenerate the report. Now, before we explore the table columns in detail, let's first see how to generate a new report. This will help you understand the table more clearly. To generate a report, click on the plus report button. You'll see a generate report form appear. Let's fill it out step by step. Enter the report name. For example, Evonik report. Select the device. Here we'll choose Evonik device. Choose the file type, either PDF or CSV. Let's select PDF for this example. Choose the report type. You can select graphical only, tabular only, or both graphical and tabular. Report type is a very useful feature. For example, if you only want to see graph trends of the last week's data, you can simply generate a graphical only report. Let's choose graphical for now. Next, select the formation type. There are three options. Single temperature shows only the internal temperature graph. Combined temperature probe combines internal and probe temperatures in one graph. Separate temperature probe creates separate graphs for each probe. Let's select separate temperature probe so we can see two different graphs. Finally, choose the date and time range. Specify from when to when you want to generate the data. Once all details are filled in, click the Generate and Download Report button. Within a few moments, your report will be ready. You'll find one copy on your system and one saved inside the software. Now, notice that a new row has been added to the table. This shows all the details you entered, like file name, file type, chart type, formation, and other report information. In the action column, you'll find the PDF icon again. If you ever need to re-download or view this report later, just click that icon. It's that simple. And that's how the report module works. Simple, efficient, and designed to make report management quick and convenient. Now, let's understand the schedule report, one of the most useful features in our software. This feature completely eliminates manual work. Once you set it up, the system will automatically send reports to your email. No need to generate them every time. Just like in the report module, you'll see a filter option here as well. This helps you easily search for your scheduled reports, especially when the list grows longer over time. Below that, you'll find the scheduled report table. This table lists all the reports you've scheduled so far. But before we explore the table in detail, let's first see how to schedule a report. Click on Add Schedule button. Here, you can see the schedule report form. This is a one-time setup process. After this, reports will be sent automatically to your email. Let's fill out the form step by step. Enter the report name. For example, Evonik Weekly Report. Select the device. Choose the device whose data you want to include in your scheduled report. Select the file type, which can be PDF or Excel. For example, let's go with PDF. Second is report type. This means which type of report you want. There are three options here: only graphical, only tabular, or both graphical and tabular together. Let's go with graphical and tabular. Now, third is formation, which means which formation you want for your report. Here are three options. Single temperature shows only the internal temperature data. Combined temperature probe includes the attached probe's temperature data combined in the same graph. Separated temperature probe displays separate graphs for each temperature source. For example, let's go with combined temperature probe. Set the frequency. This defines how often you want to receive the email: daily, weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. For this example, let's select weekly. Select the region. Choose the region you're in. Here, we'll select India. Set the time. Choose the exact time when you want to receive the report email. Select the date range mode. You have two options: from today, which starts scheduling from the current date, or select date, where you can choose a specific start date. For now, we'll select date, so data from tomorrow to the next 7 days will be sent automatically at the scheduled time. Then enter email addresses, specify who should receive the report. If it's just for you, enter your own email address. To send it to multiple people, separate each email with a comma. Finally, click Save Schedule. Your report schedule is now successfully created. Once saved, you'll see a new row appear in the table. This shows the details of the report you've just scheduled. Let's now go through the table columns one by one. File name, the name of the report you entered. File type shows the report format, for example, PDF. Chart type indicates the chart type based on your sensor configuration. Formation displays the report layout you selected. Generated date shows when the schedule was created. Region displays your selected region. Send to lists all the email recipients for this report. Frequency shows how often the report will be sent, daily, weekly, or monthly. Last sent date displays when the report email was last sent. Status shows whether the scheduled report is active or paused. Action contains a delete option. If you want to stop the schedule, simply click delete. And that's it. This is how the schedule report feature works, a powerful automation tool that ensures your reports are delivered automatically, accurately, and on time without any manual effort. Next, let's look at the devices module. This is an important part of the system that helps you manage and configure all your connected devices. At the top, you will find two tabs, Devices and Assign Device. Here, you will see a table displaying the device name and device ID. These represent the devices you've purchased and added to your account. The next column is Device Type. This shows the type of configuration set for each device. I'll explain this in more detail when we go through the Edit Device Configuration, so you'll understand it better. On the right-hand side, there's an Action column which plays an important role. In this column, you'll find two buttons, View and Edit Device. The View button allows you to see complete details of the selected device. The Edit Device button is used to configure or update the device settings. Let's click on Edit Device button to understand it better. Here, you'll see the device configuration form. Let's go through each label and input field step by step. First is Device ID. This field is not editable because it's a unique identifier for the device. It's automatically assigned and cannot be changed. Next is Assign Device Name. You can assign a custom name to your device for easy identification. For example, Evonik DF4720, where DF stands for Deep Freezer. Next is Device Type. Here you can see four types. Single temperature means you want to monitor only the internal sensor. Dual temperature probe means you want to monitor both internal and external probe temperature sensors. Single temperature and humidity means you want to monitor both internal temperature and humidity sensors. Dual temperature and humidity means you want to monitor both dual temperature sensors and humidity. According to your requirement, you can select the appropriate type. For example, I have selected dual temperature probe so that I can monitor both temperature sensors. Next is Wi-Fi SSID. Here you can enter the Wi-Fi network name that the devices should connect to. Just a quick note, the device supports only 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi networks, so make sure to use a compatible one nearby. For example, I've written Evonik. Next is WIFI password. You need to enter your Wi-Fi password here. For example, have written Evonik Wi-Fi password. Next is min temperature internal. Enter the minimum critical temperature limit. For example, if your safe range is 15 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius, enter 15 here. Next is max temperature internal. Enter the maximum critical temperature limit. In this example, that would be 25. These two values define the temperature range within which your device should operate. Next is min temperature warning internal. This is the warning limit before reaching the minimum critical temperature. For example, enter 16 to receive an early alert when the temperature approaches the lower limit. Next is max temperature warning internal. Similarly, this value defines when you'll receive a warning before reaching the upper critical limit. For example, enter 24. Next are min temperature probe and max temperature probe. These fields are used when an external probe is connected. You can define the minimum and maximum critical values for that probe. For example, 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. If your range is in the negative, you can enter -2 to -8 degrees Celsius accordingly. Next are min temperature warning probe and max temperature warning probe. These work the same way as internal warnings, giving early alerts before reaching the critical range. For instance, you can set 3 and 7 respectively. Next is logging interval. This defines how often the device should record data. The default value is 10 minutes, which is standard for most users. And finally, sending interval. This defines how often the recorded data should be sent to the server. Once you've entered all the details according to your requirements, click Update Device Config. After that, Press the device button to send the configuration to your device. Within a few seconds, typically 2 to 5 seconds, the device will update successfully. You'll see on dashboard, the device is configured. To verify, you can click on the device card where you'll find all the details you configured, including temperature settings and other parameters. And that's how the device tab works. It allows you to easily view, configure, and manage your devices, keeping everything organized, accurate, and connected. Now, let's move ahead. In the Devices module, you'll notice a navigation tab called Assign Device. Before we explore that tab, let's first take a look at the Users module. Understanding the Users module first will help you better understand how the Assign Device feature works. The User module is also a very important module in our software. In this module, you will create users so that those people can monitor the devices in the areas where the loggers have been installed. Now, when you open this module, you can see a table which displays basic information about all the users that have been created. Let me create one user to show you the process. This will also help you understand why I mentioned earlier that this module is so important. So let's click on the Add User button. Now you can see a form has appeared for user creation. Let's go through this form step by step, one field at a time. The first input field is first name. Here you will enter the user's first name. For example, let's enter Abhishek. Next is the last name field. For example, we'll enter Singh. Now comes a very important input field, which is email. For example, let's enter Abhishek Singh 742@gmail.com. Why is this email so important? Because this email address will be used by the user to log in to the software. So this is their login credential. Next is the phone number field. This is also a very important input because SMS and caller alerts will be sent to this number. So here you will add that user's mobile number. For example, let's add Abhishek's contact number. Next is location. This is where that user stays or is based. This information is kept for our records. Now comes the password field. Here you will set an initial password for this user. After that, they can change their password themselves if you have given them the authority to do so. Now we come to a very important section, which is the role of that user. This determines what access that user will have and what they won't have access to. All of this control is managed from here. And remember, this control to create users is only available to super admin and admin roles. So in our software, there are 4 different roles available. The first one is admin, the second is editor, the third is viewer, and the last one is custom. Let me explain each role in detail so you understand clearly. First is the admin role. If you assign the admin role to any user, that person will have complete access to everything. This means they can make changes and updates to all features and can add anything. For example, they can configure devices, create users, create hierarchy, and so on. Full control. Second is the editor role. Basically, an editor can do similar work as an admin. However, there is one restriction. An editor cannot update their own profile, and they also cannot update the profiles of admin or super admin. They cannot make any changes to those higher level profiles, but for everything else, they have full access. Third is the viewer role. As the name suggests, this means the user can only view the data. They cannot make any changes at all, only viewing access. And the last one is the custom role. This is very flexible. With custom role, you can decide exactly which modules that users should have access to. You simply select the checkboxes for the modules you want them to access and uncheck the ones you don't want them to see. Now let's move to the next section, which is alert preferences. This determines in which way you want to allow alerts to be sent to this user. Here you have 3 preferences available. First is email alerts, second is SMS alerts, and third is voice call alerts. For example, let's say we select all 3 preferences for this user. So what happens? After you assign a device to this user, if that device goes out of its set temperature range, alerts will be sent through all 3 methods: email, SMS, and voice call. Of course, according to your specific needs, you can enable or disable any of these alert preferences. Next is alert types. This section determines for which situations you want to allow alerts. By default, critical alerts are always on. If you don't want them, which usually doesn't happen, but if for some reason you only want specific types of alerts, you can customize this. For example, in some cases, a user may not want warning alerts. They only want to receive critical alerts. In that situation, they can simply uncheck the warning alerts option and they will not receive those warning alerts. Let me explain what types of alerts the software can send. There are 4 types. Type 1 is critical alerts. These are sent when the device goes beyond the critical range you have set. Type 2 is warning alerts. These are sent before the device reaches the critical range as an early warning. Type 3 is back in range alerts. These are sent when the device comes back into the acceptable range after being out of range. And type 4 is device status alerts. These are sent when a device goes offline or loses connection to the network. So once you have set all the user permissions and alert preferences according to your requirements, you need to click on the Create User button. You will receive a small success message saying user created successfully. And that's all about the user creation process. Now, if you look at the table, you can see that a new user entry has been created and appears in the list. If you need to change any user's details later, it's very simple. Just go to the action column, click on the edit button, you can make your changes. This is all about the user module. Now, let's go back to the device module to understand the Assign Device Navigation tab. As I mentioned earlier, we would explain this after the user module so that the Assign Device functionality becomes much clearer and easier to understand. Here, the most important selection you'll see is Select User. This simply means choose the user to whom you want to assign the device. For example, let's select one user to assign a device. Once you select a user, you'll see a drop-down list with checkboxes showing all available devices. Let's assign Abhishek Singh to 4 devices. By doing this, Abhishek will start receiving all alerts related to those devices. If any excursion occurs, he'll be able to take the necessary action for those 4 assigned devices. After selecting the devices, click on the Assign Device button. The devices will now be successfully assigned to that user. Below, you will see a table that displays the assigned details. The username column shows the name of the user. The device name column shows which devices are assigned to that user. And finally, the action column includes 2 buttons, the View Details button, which allows you to view the user's details, and the Edit button, which lets you update the assigned devices for that user. Please note, only authorized users can make updates to assigned devices. That's all about Assign Device. Next, let's look at the Raise Ticket module. This is a very useful feature. Whenever you face any issue or you're unsure about something, you can simply raise a ticket and our team will assist you. Let's understand how the Raise Ticket module works. On the screen, you can see several filter options. First is location. Select the location where you are facing the issue. For example, let's tiny click. Next, select the hub. We'll choose Submit Ticket by 1D hub. Then choose the area, for example, Cool Room BGR1. After that, select the device you are facing the issue with. By selecting the exact location, hub, area, and device, it helps us understand your problem quickly and accurately, leading to faster resolution. Below that, you'll see reason. Here, select the type of issue you're experiencing. If the issue is not listed, choose other reason and describe the problem in the text box. You can also provide additional details to help us understand what happened and what steps you already tried. Once all the details are filled in, click on Submit Ticket button. Now look at the table below. This is the Raise Ticket log. It shows all the tickets you have created. Whenever you raise a ticket, you will receive a confirmation email. Our team will also receive a notification so we can start reviewing your issue. At the top, you'll see the ticket status counts. Pending. These are the tickets that our backend team has not yet responded to. In progress. We have received your ticket and are currently working on it. Resolved. These tickets have been successfully solved. This makes it easy for you to track your ticket status at all times. In the action column, if you raised a ticket by mistake or if the issue got resolved on its own, you can also cancel or stop the ticket. And that's how the Raise Ticket module works. Thank you for your attention. This service helps you monitor your critical assets efficiently, ensure compliance with temperature regulations, and maintain the quality and safety of your products at all times. If you have any questions or need assistance, our support team is always ready to help you.